On your
Hey, we are live here on the HR Happy Hour work break. How are you, Steve Bose?
Hey, I'm great. Good to see you again. How are you?
I'm good. Good to see you again too. So I have to tell you, I'm noticing, number one, it is late in the day for us to be just now getting a work break.
It is.
I think that tells everyone how busy it is at H3HR. It's been a busy day.
Even though I'm sort of slacking, it is officially happy hour by the hour here where I live.
Is it? Okay. All right. Well, that's good. I think I'm still drinking my coconut water. So
All right.
That's all good.
Well, I have a barely left water myself. So.
The HR Happy Hour
We're doing it wrong.
Sponsored by coconut water and bottled water.
Yeah, and Nestle Pure Life.
You know what? Maybe we need a water sponsor.
Yeah.
Anyway, whole different thing. I see also, you'd think it's a Friday or something. We're both wearing t-shirts. I have to tell you, what do you think about this? I had been talking with my daughter. I feel like I've lived in pajamas or yoga pants, like way more than normal in the last 5 or 6 weeks of quarantine. And now I said, I feel like we should step up our game. So for the last couple days, I've actually been, I don't know if getting ready is the right word, but definitely, looking a little more put together for all of my calls I've been on. Today, it's like back to full on t-shirt land. How about you?
I'm usually doing casual when I'm home. I would say this on the yoga pants thing. All I'd say is research has shown that 97% of the time people spend wearing yoga pants, they're not actually practicing yoga. It's only 3% of yoga pant wearing time is doing yoga, which is interesting. And I think that's a woman's thing, and I find it very odd because, like, I don't put on my basketball uniform to then not play basketball, right? I would only wear it for its purpose.
I have to tell you, I might bust out yoga moves at any point during the day. For example, just a few moments ago, I was actually taking a little break before this break, and I took a TikTok break. And there is a TikTok video where Jason Derulo, I mean, other people do it too, but it's called The Woe. And he's flat on the ground, and he has a woman standing on his back. And then when the music says, whoa, then he kind of jumps up and she jumps up. Anyway, if you're not on TikTok, go look it up. But anyway, so I had my son, Jack, try and do this with me because I'm like, this looks easy. Mm-hmm. So here he is. He's like, Mom, you're going to get hurt. And I didn't realize I needed to jump when he kind of moved as well. And so what we wound up doing was like exactly what he said was going to happen. I fell. I won't say I'm injured, but I tweaked something in my wrist. I might have swelling or bruising tomorrow. So I cannot stand on my teenager's back and jump up in the air. Yoga.
It could be time to leave that stuff for the intended audience of 14-year-olds, Trish.
You know what I would love to hear? No, TikTok's for the moms too. Just have you know. No, I serious question for anybody listening. I guess number one, do you watch TikTok? I'm just curious. And then
that's a no for me, by the way.
That's a no for you. And then what? Yeah, I'd love to hear what people think about wearing, yoga pants and not doing yoga, or basketball shorts and not playing basketball. I feel like that's okay. I feel like it's an okay thing.
Okay.
So what else is on your mind? I mean, it's a work break. We're gonna just take a short one. What else are you thinking about today?
One thing which is interesting in the workplace, and I think it's going to get more interesting, and it is this, that more states are pushing to reopen, more businesses are trying or already in process of reopening. And what piqued my interest this morning, or I was kind of doing a quick scan of the news, was I'll just read the headline to you, Trish, and we can just talk about the topic a little bit. Here it is. It's from Forbes today. Starbucks plans on reopening after coronavirus. 90% of company-run U.S. stores will be open by early June. And I'd imagine some of them are maybe not fully open. Maybe some will still stay in takeout or delivery only. But still, maybe think about the bigger issue of, with many more workplaces looking to try to get open, maybe not employees and or customers feeling safe and secure and ready to get back to some of these. And I don't know. I just wonder from an HR perspective, certainly, how do you handle that? How do you work through those issues of trying to bring back people who may not be ready to be brought back right now?
Well, I think it's a great point. For me, I believe that HR leaders are already working on these back to work plans. They have to be. It involves a lot of communication, I'm sure, with the employee base. They're probably, if they're smart, doing some sort of surveying as well. Like what will it take to make you feel safe and secure at work coming back? And maybe that is additional hand sanitizing stations. Maybe, it's interesting. I was watching on the news yesterday, and they were talking about Las Vegas reopening and how a lot of the casinos right now at the Venetian, for example, they're going through and actually moving the slot machines and things like that further apart to anticipate people coming back to the casinos. They're putting in rules that are, no more than three people at any craps table or, blackjack table or whatnot. So I think other workplaces will do the same thing, right? I think they'll have to figure out based on what kind of business it is. How can you maybe it's, if it's customer facing, maybe it's limiting the number of customers that come in around your employees. Maybe it's then if there are fewer customers allowed in, maybe it's limiting the number of people working a certain shift or whatnot. Or if it's an office job, maybe, rearrangement of the office space. Maybe it's also a phased approach too, just like it's a phased approach to opening. Maybe it's a phased approach, like, we have everyone at home. We're going to try bringing back just 10 or 15 or 20%, getting them acclimated, getting them comfortable, feeling safe, and then sort of easing them into it. What do you think would be something they would be doing?
Yeah, well, I think those are all great points. Some of the things I've seen, maybe more in the kind of office kind of environments, involve staging or putting workers on shifts, much like we see in the manufacturing world, right? First and second and third shifts, right? Which is very common in that world. Not so common in the sort of professional office environment world. It might become more common. Instead of bringing 1,000 people back into the location from 8:30 to 5, let's bring them back, half of them between 8 and 12 or 8 and 1, and kind of filter in the next group and later in the afternoon. And as you said, maybe bring back only 10 or 15 or 20% on the outset. There is definitely going to be, and we've seen some schematics already have been published for potential office type redesigns, right? To get people spread out a little bit further, create more space, to not have the opportunity for people to just be on top of each other. That was the main trend in office design, right? In the last 20 years was communal space and everybody seeing each other, everybody working in a big shared room, and no matter what the environment was. And I just don't feel like now, we're still now, I went for a jog today in the neighborhood and there was a guy coming in the other direction. We're outside, there's only 2 of us out there. And then we got into this little battle over which one of us was going to cross to the other side of the road so we could pass. We both went and we came back. And then so you're saying like just 2 random people out on the street don't want to get too near each other. Yeah. Think about, let's go into the office where there's a big crowd of people, and it's going to be a transition period, just like it's been a transition period to everybody working from home. The transition period back may be equally challenging, difficult, and lengthy, I think.
Oh, I think it will be. You're right. This is the time where you use your EAP program, things that might not be used as much, some of those resources, and have those, again, people may have anxiety around coming back to work, being around other people. It's going to take time. So you're right. I think, we were all sort of thrown into this really quickly. The sort of coming back is going to take, I think, a more thoughtful approach. And hopefully, I will tell you, it was interesting. I happened to work in Big Four public accounting when the idea of open spaces and hoteling first kind of came to be in like the late 90s. And we went to the full open space, from cubicles. It was horrible. People hated it. So I fear that for the places that are now, more in the open space design, I'm starting to see tweets and things about people saying, oh, we'll go back to cubicles. I don't think that's the right answer either. I think it's some new blend of work, right? And again, it depends on if you're a customer facing sort of an organization, or if you're an office or a manufacturer or healthcare or whatever the case might be. But yeah, I think for all of us, it's going to be really different. So yeah. Good to think about, right?
Yeah, and I keep an eye on what's happening in the office design space. The furniture makers like Steelcase, even the corporate real estate companies are getting involved in this kind of space too. So those are the companies I'd be following right now too, to see kind of where this is going to go in the next few months and year or so.
You know what? That's actually a really good tip. I did that years ago when we had just issues around workspaces and how they were being designed. You're right. Following the furniture makers of office furniture is absolutely oddly, they all have blogs. I was following blogs for office lamp designers, for example. You'd be surprised.
The niche market,
and
but
things like that. You'd be surprised. No, seriously, they do a lot of research on that sort of thing, and so they've probably just been waiting kind of all these years for it to be put to good use. So yeah, some really creative ideas. I will say I was Googling it the other day, just sort of by myself thinking about it, and there are a lot of blogs already being written and articles and so forth. So yeah, people are making Pinterest boards about sort of the office space of the future.
All right. We've hit Pinterest now. We're
back to welcome back to Pinterest. All right. Well, I think we should probably wrap it. We've probably had a long enough break. Like I said, I took my TikTok break. I've got my work break now with you all. So anyway, thanks everyone who tunes into this. This is day 3, and it's been great. We've had a huge response.
I still haven't shaved, by the way.
Lots of people. Oh gosh, wait. All right, so I'm gonna have to getting a message coming in here. Put on my glasses to read this. Oh, here we go. Love My Sports Gal says the plexiglass manufacturers are becoming very inventive on how to protect workers. You know what? That I'm glad. Thank you for making that comment, because I think that's very true, actually. I'd be interested though. The thing is, the only place I've really seen it in play, again, because we're kind of stuck at home, is at the grocery store. I don't know, Steve, if you've been to a grocery store, but at least at ours, it's like they now have huge plexiglass barriers, and it works, but I don't know, is something like that going to stick around after all this? I'd be curious.
I think it will for a while, for sure. There's no doubt about it. I think to protect those frontline workers there's been tons and tons of folks who've gotten sick, right? Who have those public facing jobs, and those are tough jobs. They've always been tough jobs. I'm glad that we appreciate them more, and I hope that appreciation extends to making sure that they're protected. And I do feel like at least the places I've gone shopping near me have really made strides in doing a good job to do that, to provide PPE, to provide barrier spacing. There's signs all over the floor, right? In any retail establishment you go to right now, telling you where to stand, encouraging the spacing and all that. In fact, I know we're going a little long, but one of the furniture company designs that I saw, right, this potential model for a new office space design, in their carpet, right? It was a white carpet, but they had put on the carpet large, dark, brown or black circles.
Okay.
Spaced out in the carpet, and those circles were to indicate this is the safe place to stand, right? If you're going to be dealing with someone who's in that office chair or in that office section, you have to stand outside the circle. So it wasn't as bad as like, please don't stand, don't come any closer. But it was like a subtle cue to say this is going to be appropriate spacing right now. So it's super interesting.
Yeah. So Love My Sports Gal made another great point. Obviously, we need Love My Sports Gal on the show, because banks have been using this actually for years for security. So that is a good point, actually.
Yeah. So in prisons, like when you go to visit an inmate, they have that same type of barrier.
I sort of hate that. I mean, I get if we have to do it, we have to do it, right? But I sort of hate that idea because, again, I think sometimes maybe it's because I do live in a small town outside of a big city. So I'm close to St. Louis, but I'm actually in a small town. And I do feel like some of the charm of interactions is that closeness that you can feel to people, building relationships. It is harder. It feels harder anyway for me with a barrier there, but I guess, that's where we are right now. So, you know what, as we're talking about it, this is how all good ideas start. I mean, maybe we do a longer episode, a longer show, and actually have somebody come on from a plexiglass manufacturer or a furniture or office furniture manufacturer
that's a great idea.
To talk to some of their designers about what they're, what have they been innovating about, and then how are they seeing, orders currently, and what's the plan for the future. So
I wrote that down. That's a note.
Good stuff. Well, thanks everyone for spending your work break with us, and hopefully we'll do it every single day of the work week. And as you can see, this one's a little late in the day, so it's not always going to be at the same time. But stay tuned and follow Steve or I, and you'll be able to catch up with us.
Cool. Thanks, Trish.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.